What's going on, Tamers? East here, and with the EX09 Versus Monsters box set releasing relatively soon, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at all the major archetypes that were introduced and that received support in this set. In this video, we're going to talk about the new Liberator puppet support, but if you're interested in some of the other archetypes out there, definitely check out the channel for more. The Liberator cards already have puppet support thanks to the protagonist Arisa Kinosaki and her partner Digimon Shumon, but with the introduction of a new character, this support has been expanded. Also, just for the folks who are watching at home, if you care at all, there are some slight spoilers, I guess, in the Liberator story based on the cards here, so just take that with a grain of salt. Like, if you don't want to be spoiled about characters or anything, then probably stop watching now and then come back once you've caught up with the comic. But for those of us who already know or don't mind to be spoiled, let's dive in. So the new Liberator puppet support is introduced to the new character Mirai Kinosaki, Arisa Kinosaki's sister, and the Kaguyamon line. Now, with the puppet cards in the past being more aggressive or aggro focused, these cards seem like a nice balance with some defensive effects as well. The Hanimon allow you to trash a card to pull a puppet trait card back to the hand, and the Kokeshimon allowing you to trash a card and then give an opponent's Digimon minus 4,000 for the turn seem pretty useful, but their inheritance effects are even more so, where you can essentially destroy one of your puppets when an opponent's Digimon attacks and then stop the attack, or end the attack rather. And because puppet cards are known to go pretty wide, being able to play down level 3s or level 4s quite cheaply once you get to the higher level Digimon, the Karakurumon definitely takes advantage of this, allowing you to destroy one of your puppets in order to evolve for free. And then once you do evolve, you can utilize the Mirai Kinosaki's effect to bottom deck herself in order to play down either an Arisa Kinosaki tamer or a puppet trait Digimon for cost minus 3. Additionally, when you initially play down the Mirai Kinosaki tamer, you can use her on play effect to look at top 3 and either grab a puppet or a Liberator trait card. In this case, it doesn't have to be a Digimon. It could be a Tamer option or a Digimon in this case. While I did tout at the beginning of this that a lot of these cards were defensive focus, Kaguyamon is the one card that puts a sword in every one of these puppets' hand alongside a shield, where she gives all of your Digimon who are puppets Alliance and Blocker at the same time. Also, at the end of all of your turns, Kaguyamon is going to let you play down a level 4 or lower puppet trait Digimon from the trash onto the board immediately for free. And you can also, all turns, whenever one of your puppets are deleted, you could do one of your opponent's lowest level Digimon. And so between Alliance, Blocker, Play Digimon, Delete Digimon, Kaguyamon definitely feels like a do-everything card for the puppet trait. Some of my early takeaways from looking over the cards, it definitely feels like Bandai is trying to actively support the puppet archetype in many different ways. And, just things like the Kokeshimon being on the board with a Hanimon underneath. You can, when an opponent attacks, delete herself using the opponent's turn effect to delete a Digimon in the attack. When you do that, you also give something minus 4k thanks to the Kokeshimon's own deletion effect, as well as own Digivolve. So some pretty nasty 8k possibilities coming out of this. You can also stop attacks while you're trying to build up your own board. And then later on, whenever you evolve into Digimon, like so again, you can bottom deck and play other Digimon that cost minus 3 or a new Tamer. Additionally, just having the Karakurumon down and then deleting another puppet or Tamer whenever you play her or Digivolve gives you the free evolution here is so nice. The Kaguyamon lets you replay level 4. You can then use the Mirai Kinosaki Tamer to just play down a card that costs minus 3, and then you just have an entire board, again, all Alliance, all Blocker, and if one of these dies, your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level dies on either turn. Another interesting thing that I didn't mention before is that the Karakurumon's inheritance effect says that whenever one of your puppet Digimon would leave the battle area by not one of your own effects, you can delete a puppet or a token card instead, and the Digimon doesn't leave. Again, that's once per turn, but again, any sort of protection for a card right now is really strong. And so between the new EX9 Kaguyamon line, as well as some of the old favorites like Chaperomon, Syndromon, and the rest of the Liberator gang, it feels like puppets will have you pulling the strings from now on. And with that, we're going to wrap up our EX9 Puppet Liberator support. Again, I'm super excited that Bandai is supporting more with Liberator cards and expanding their archetypes using new characters and just new effects in general. I'm really excited to see what they do with the rest of the lines as well. I'm sure you folks out there are cooking up some absolutely disgusting stuff with the puppets out there, and if you'd like to share, put them down in the comments below. I'll definitely be reading as well. Anyways, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Before you get out of here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.